This is Rachel. We are talking to famous people. I'll tell you what else we are. We are the author of some amazing content, such as Is Cord Overstreet Lindsay Lohan's real name? Such as How You Learned to Dance. You said you didn't know how to dance, and that is exactly how you learned how to dance because you knew what you needed.
Great dance song.
Started rapping, the chords went away. Everybody asked where they go to today. You said they went outside to do some dancing. And if you don't like it, you can tell up to friends then. And they will tell you the same thing that I'm telling you now. You got to dance. Yeah. A wise, wise song that finally explains everything to you. I like how the empty beat creates emphasis on the next line. You mean how I accidentally ended that song one word too early? I didn't do that on purpose. That was an accident. But what's not an accident is your dream finally coming true. You've been waiting for such a long time. And now, here it is, your dreams come true. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, Popovich, welcome. And how am I? I'm as well as could possibly be expected. All things considered. Especially given the impending apocalypse. For a lot of people don't know this, but the world's actually scheduled to end within the next, I think, 6 to 7 months. Apparently, like, maybe a glacier's gonna fall on everybody. It has something to do with global warming, maybe.
Why are they not more afraid of like that asteroid?
Well, because there's nothing politically outrageous about asteroids.
Oh, but
People want to politicize their apocalypse.
some do, some do.
Oh, kitty man, you're a silly boy. So, it's Friday. I still haven't smoked any cigarettes. Not Monday, not Tuesday, not Wednesday, not Thursday. Today's Friday. I still haven't smoked any, but I may end up smoking one tonight. I don't know. It's like I've done a great job so far. I don't want to jump the gun, but how long could it possibly? How long could it possibly take before the chance of infection is passed? So I'm back in school and not doing any of my assignments because that was my dream. That's a great dream to have, for a guy. I'd say it's objectively better than Martin Luther King's dream. He didn't even know what he was dreaming about. How about you dream of maybe not cheating on your wife all the time, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if that is your real name.
according to this zodiac website, you look at your number and you're this sort of aesthetic, and I agree with this. So your birthday is on the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
So people with the 27 in their birthday are princesses.
I am a princess.
You are.
Sure, yeah. How do somebody know if they're Enneagram 5 or 6? Well,
Yeah, I need to know.
I'll tell you, Popovich, the same thing I tell Rachel. 5 is confronting your fears. If you learn about something that seems kind of scary and you ask a bunch of questions about it and learn about it, then you're 5. If you hear about something scary and you check your existing resources and stuff, in other words, make sure your pantry stocked as it should be, what have you. In other words, not paying attention to the scary thing itself and learning about it, but rather to your defenses in general, then you're a 6.
So I'm triple withdrawn.
5 is confront.
Is it?
Yes. 7 is avoid. 6 is withdraw.
6 is withdrawal?
Yeah.
How come, like, is it just because, like, our core is so different? Like, Akeisha and I, like, we feel different. And then we're seeing, like, tri-type.
Are you the same choice type?
She's a 4-5-9.
Well, I don't think you're 4 first.
No, I'm 9 first, definitely.
But
That's what makes it
I think the main reason why you and Keisha are so different has nothing to do with Enneagram. It has to do with the fact that you're an INFJ and she's an INFP. But, you know, that's how I think about those kind of things.
I do too.
Enneagram 5, Enneagram 6. What's the difference out here in the sticks? I said Enneagram 7, but Enneagram 8. I think I'm gonna beat Enneagram great. Enneagram 5, Enneagram 6. What's the difference out here in the sticks? Not much more than you think.
Ooh, I like that.
Do I think that in the future I will open a site about 16 personalities? I mean, I have one kind of. It's this YouTube channel, you know? It's not expressly about that. I mean, I could, like, it would be wise for me to set up, I guess, a distinct website that's got information about the typing sessions and some documents and stuff. Yeah, that would be a good idea to do that. But am I going to? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Whether I'm going to do this thing or that thing. Those are mysterious questions that have sometimes no answer. Except Only the ghosts will know. Only the ghosts. Let's play with my finger. It's super and red. Let's play with my finger instead of my head. Let's play with my finger. Maybe it's a thumb. Let's play with my finger, 'cause fingers aren't dumb. Let's go. Let's rock. Let's roll and talk about fingers. My thumb is as long as my fingers too, and it's the best thumb that you have ever seen. It's the greatest thumb in the world. You want one like it, girl. You think this thumb is great. You say, don't be late with your thumb to the party, 'cause the party can't start without your thumb. Bring your thumb, don't be dumb, and come to the thumb party. Bring your thumb, don't be dumb, and come to the thumb party. Everybody's going to be impressed by your thumb. Yes, I have done tutoring. I do. I work with like students. I I haven't done a lot of like teaching adults per se. Adults typically don't want to be students. Yeah. They're gonna teach me. I'm all grown up and I know everything. I have no I know and I say and I think I know everything that I want to know. Like what I am, what you are, what you are too, and her and him and Joe and Tutu. All those things, that's what I know. What do I do? Like teaching? I taught English and debate, logic, conditional logic. I taught psychology. I taught all of those classes. I taught like different kinds of English classes, like grammar and like reading, writing classes. And but the best thing to teach is debate, because that's not really teaching, that's coaching, and it's just a fundamentally better modality. The reason it's better is because everybody has the accountability of all the results being public and published. That really helps, because the teachers need to be held accountable too. There's no good way to tell really whether a teacher is doing a shitty job, because they can just give the students whatever grades they want to give them. And if everybody gets a good grade, nobody really going to complain that much, right? Coaching's a different matter, because coaching zero sum. If your students are going to win, you have to make the other guy's students lose. Much, much more robust way of doing things. So if your debaters lose all the time, or lose badly, everyone's going to immediately know that you are a shitty coach. You wish there were good MBTI channels. I mean, I wish people just like agreed on a few basic things. That'd be nice. Yeah, Rachel was telling me somebody on her Discord, Kim. You remember Kim? Kim's the one with fibromyalgia, fiber algebra. She has. Anyway, after I typed her, she went and got typed by somebody else who typed her ENFP, and she's like, I'm not sure. The thing that matters is, of course, what questions did they ask her to determine that she was ENFP? Like, when they asked this question, they indicated that the answer indicated meow. And why? If they don't have that, then there's just pulling shit out of their ass. It doesn't matter what they say. If they don't have at least that. I think your answer to this question means you have this function in this spot because. Most of the time, I find MBTI channels like a self-help thing. Yeah, well, fiber algebra, protein calculus, starch trigonometry. Yes. So it's like I get that typology is always going to be a great frustration to me because people do things with it that they shouldn't be doing with it, and they do those things in ways they shouldn't be doing them. But I wish we could just agree on a couple of things. Like, if you're asking this kind of question, it's testing yeah. That would be great. But we can't even agree on that in general in the world.
I'm sorry. Where did you put the wrapping paper?
Oh, I put it. I tried to put it on the chair in the dining room. It fell off the chair in the dining room onto the floor in the dining room.
Thank you.
The issue is you get plenty of people who know what type they are, and more specifically in that, don't want it subjected to testing at all. Yeah, Dallas makes good stuff. He's like a real professional live YouTuber. I didn't say it was an MBTI channel. I just said that you do make good stuff. You offer observations on things.
We don't have can we, next time we go to the supermarket, get a holder for tape?
Sure.
It'll just be easier to wrap.
Is there no tape in there?
There's tape, there's just no holder. So getting the...
Have you looked in the stamp drawer?
No, I will.
Your dream has finally come true, Dallas.
Oh, sweet.
What you were dreaming about was that maybe, fingers crossed, Eric would be live streaming. And your dreams come true. You managed to have some spare time while host Eric is live streaming. Yeah? Dream a little dream for me. Okay. So I was starving earlier because I can't chew hardly anything. But we went to the store finally, and I got a couple of frozen dinners that I think are going to be pretty chew free. The cheesy patty with mashed potatoes dinner from Banquet, and also the Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes dinner from Banquet. Both those squares of meat, they're very soft, very easy to eat. I don't understand why people don't get a retyping session, ask questions, argue, do anything to try to challenge the type. Sometimes they do. And I Dallas, the barbecue pork, which is it's probably about as chew free as the Salisbury steak, because it's not really what it claims to be. You know, it's that they take some pork and they press it into that shape. It's kind of like a McRib. But I tried to pick things that I thought I could handle without a lot of chewing. But then I also got a little bit. I ended up on a little bit of a side quest because there was an excellent deal on these. 2 for $5. Normally they're like $5.59 a piece or something. So I got 4 of those, even though that's not that easy to chew. I got some of these soft King's Hawaiian breads because I can just put one of those in my mouth, put a little coffee in my mouth, and it'll just kind of melt away. I got some fruit because I'm going to make a milkshake. I got some ice cream and some milk as well. Sesame chicken, that's right. They had 4 different specific Marie Callender's meals that were on sale for 2 for $5. But the only one they had any left of was the sesame chicken. So I got 4 of those. $10 very well spent, let me tell you. Even though it's not going to be in my pudding and porridge wheelhouse. I did get some pudding at the store. I got some tapioca pudding. And I got 2 containers of cottage cheese. And we got a bunch of yogurts. So yeah, I'm not just thinking of having a cigarette tonight. I'm almost like planning to have a cigarette tonight. But I'm a little bit like, well, you know, what's the hurry? Might as well just chill out for a second. I just had this horrible thought that somehow I'll smoke a cigarette and then bang, I'll get it infected all of a sudden. And it seems impossible, but there's a lot of bad typology and self-type people spreading wrongness out there. It's really kind of a mess out there on the internet typologically. It's an absolute mess. You know, you've got plenty of people who are type meh because they identify as having those virtues and qualities, right? Like Touch never told us what type he thought he was, but because of course he didn't want it subjected to scrutiny. He didn't want to know what his type was. He wanted to determine what his type was, to tell us what his type was, so that he could identify it as that. Probably INFJ is my guess, is what he thinks he is. When you've got a substantial subpopulation of typology overall, comprising people like that who, instead of wanting to understand things by having their type correct, they want to be able to identify with an archetype that they like, right? So Rachel's sister thinks she's an INFJ.
She asked me if I thought she was, and I said that I didn't know that, but that you could help her. And then she wasn't interested beyond that.
Right, because she doesn't want to learn what type she is. She wants you to say, yes, I think you're an INFJ. Of course, she's not. She's very clearly an ISFJ. But the thing is, she knows with her experience. And how could anybody possibly know who she is better than her with her experience? Those kind of phenomena make it incredibly difficult to get anything accomplished typologically because it's like a math that some people to use to drink water. We go like, what do you mean? Putting numbers with a pencil and stuff. I'm doing that right now. I wouldn't just go like, whatever. One guy, as by he's and Joyce's words as an ENTP in an interview with Joyce Manning, said something like, "Any is like seeing all possibilities." What do you think about what he's saying, and how do you find any? Well, first of all, extroverted intuition is not about seeing anything. It's an action function that generates stuff, usually in words. If you want to talk about possibilities, well, it is the case that while introverted intuition knows what something is, extroverted intuition is likely to posit what else it might be instead. It is the case that the value of extroverted intuition is going to be either upheld as an absolute or an instrumental value. That value is going to be divergence or disparateness. So it's the case that extroverted intuition as an absolute value, at least dominant, is going to express as an expectation of originality. People could type behind the curtain and the methodology is completely opaque. Exactly. So, and people prefer that somehow. I feel like I feel like the typologists are all wizards in their towers and they want to keep all their magic secret. Paywall curtain. They don't have any magic. I guess that's what they're doing. They're keeping that secret. They're like, but they won't just say what it is. I use my intuition to type people, and naturally, unavoidably, it's fundamentally no more or less reliable than anybody else's. Because I'm holistically determining this, and I cannot explain it to you. Yeah, well, as far as the action functions go, we could think of all extroverted functions as action functions, and all introverted functions as epistemics, or understanding functions, you know? So you got static kind of actions, which means it's the kind of action you complete the whole thing before you check again, right? Got dynamic kind of actions, which is you can't determine the full action ahead of time because it's got to be responsive to dynamic elements. So the difference between giving a speech and having a conversation, right? Giving a speech is a static kind of action. Having a conversation is dynamic. Same thing with epistemics. You've got dynamic understanding, which requires you to know things. Because the kind of action you're taking is dynamic and responsive. You don't have time to stop and deliberate things out. That's a function of static kinds of action. So naturally, your dynamic action functions or interface functions are always paired with knowledge when they're in the 1-2, you know? And your static kind of action functions are always paired with deliberation when they're in the 1-2. And that frame of reference is going to inform a lot of things too. Like, for me, I'm going to assume that whatever needs to be done is best done by taking time to determine what ought to be done first and then doing it in full. And I'm going to assume that's what other people want. I'm going to project that frame onto all kinds of things. In contrast, an interfacer is much more likely to assume that that kind of action cannot be determined ahead of time and completed all in one fell swoop, that it needs to be, you got to get your hands dirty. You got to see, check, adjust, check, etc. Imagine being their grift tools. Eric, are you familiar with Black Pigeon channel? No. Black Pigeon. I'm not familiar with it. Is it run by a real black pigeon? If not, then it sounds like it's just a channel of lies. Unlike this channel, talking to famous people, because that's what we really do all the time. And the thing is, people will fight against the lack of opacity and the translucence of what I'm doing when I say, like, okay, when I ask this question, it tests this function. People will fight against that, but they don't have any kind of alternate thing where they say, like, no, that kind of question actually tests this function, and here's why. Or no, here's how you actually test that function with these kind of questions, and here's why. They don't have anything like that. They just oppose the actuality of it. They oppose the lack of vagueness. They hate our freedom, okay? Just like George W. Bush said. Isn't it how dynamic situations tend to sort themselves out? So in a lot of cases, action isn't all that important. Stuff happens. When it hits an end state, we can resume. Right. Well, especially for us, Dallas, since we take action with words by default. Yeah, it's really annoying to read the comments that aren't not using that frame at all. Right? They're just like, well, actually, it's pretty clear he's an ISTJ. Oh, thanks for that helpful comment. Definitely ISFP. I'm sure of it. Thanks. Wow. I can't believe how helpful that was. So basically what you're saying is, I'm wrong because you're sure. My intuition was right. Oh, people in their ways. I get it, you know. I, I'm doing the same thing everybody else is doing, projecting my frame. It just it feels different to me because it seems like, I mean, it is the case that
What was that Brady Bunch spin-off that failed?
Brady Brides. Oh, I'm wrong periodically, Casey Jones. That's one of the features of me saying actual things and actually meaning things and doing things, right? Is that I can be wrong for articulable reasons. We can figure out how and why I came to be wrong about person Mia. What misled me, how I can try not to repeat that mistake again, right? Other people who type people cannot be wrong because there's no way to check their work. They don't tell you what they're doing is doing. They're not they're not making replicable tests that always mean the same thing when the results are yeah. No, I mean the thing is the beautiful thing about trying to be correct honestly all the time is that I can tell the difference between instances where I failed to successfully type somebody correctly, instances where I definitely did type them correctly. There's an obvious, some people are obviously now type and there are good defensible reasons for it. Other times I get confused and there are obvious and good defensible reasons why they are typed meow, but I just miss it. So other times they're a little bit less cut and dry, you know, and I have more trouble figuring out exactly because maybe like it's hard to definitively determine the difference between INTP and ENTP, for example. But but that's the beautiful thing about actually doing things properly is that hey, look, Eric can be wrong and you can prove him wrong and you can show him that he's wrong. You can point out that he interpreted his own test contrary to how he says it should be interpreted. Whereas these other people are like, nah, I know you are an ENFP because I can tell from your micro expressions. Really? What micro expression? You wouldn't be able to tell. You gotta have a keen eye for micro expressions. I mean, I was wrong about that INTP the other day. We ended up at the right type, but that didn't change the fact that I was wrong about it. Of course, I do get that there is a place in the world for things that aren't reducible. You know, people want to talk about astrology, horoscope type, or about, you know, um, numerology, even like anagram and stuff, you know. I think that's fine. People can talk about their various archetypal identities all they want. I just wish they didn't do it with typology because that's the one thing that's not like that. Voltology for the win. Looks like an ESFJ, talks like an ESFJ, but smiles like an ENTP.
Some shoddy TI.
Yeah. Or you go for some C.S. Joseph, Linda Barron's communication styles. It's because people believe what they hear if it's said more confidently, and dumb people are more sure about their claims. Well, one of the weirder things that happens in typology is the way that I'm not sure how many people do this besides him, but I know that C.S. Joseph at least he types people very fast. Like he'll ask them one or two questions and say this type, and he'll have some like communication style justification for it. Uh, and that seems odd. Like even if you're planning on just intuiting what someone's type is, wouldn't you want to give your intuition more to work with? Linda Barons herself discredits communication styles as a way to type people's cognitive functions. Well,
It's called learning and growing.
the problem with communication styles as a way of doing something about someone's personality is that one's communication style very much depends on context and what you're trying to do communicatively. It's frustrating to look at a type grid and realize it's a bunch of stuff ripped off and cobbled together that isn't cognitive functions or MBTI at all. Yeah, well, people want to reinvent the wheel, but all their reinventions of the wheel, be they square, triangular, octagonal, they're inferior to actual wheels. Yeah, I'm familiar with the type grid. Ay, ay, ay.
I wonder what I would get with the type grid.
I don't know. Have you ever taken his online test?
I definitely did, yeah. But a long time ago, I don't remember it. Should I try it again?
Sure. Uh, let's see if we can find it. C.S. Joseph free online test. Start the personality test. Quick assessment test. Do you want to fill it out?
Sure.
There you go. It typed me correctly.
Yeah, but you always get types correctly. You can help me.
It typed me as ENTP rogue because I'm a rogue.
Why does that matter?
There's a bunch of random stuff in C.S. Joseph's system because he needs dense content to sell to people. I'm not familiar enough with his work, but I'm pretty sure he's saying that SI is hard work. I mean, he has no idea what anything is.
I think I'm this one.
Are you more open with others or more closed off from others? Yeah, you're the second one. Which of these are you? That's probably the second one. What about a nightmare coming true? Which one are you? I prefer to dig for the truth and focus on getting facts right. I care about doing what's right. I try to smooth things over, find a solution. Say the first one. I'd say the first one probably. Sharon Moore. Yeah, I read about it. He apparently broke and entered into that lady's house and then got a couple of butter knives from the from the drawer. I feel like I'm never good enough, which can hold me back from shining. I often sacrifice my desires or comforts. Yeah, probably the first one. Don't you think so?
Wait, what? What
Yeah, the first one, don't you think?
Yeah.
Submit form. Check your email.
Where?
Check your email. Unlock your holy crap, this is me moment. Start today for $29 a month. $29 a month? Why do you need to pay a monthly fee to be told what type you are? Am I gonna watch Army versus Navy tomorrow? No, I'm not. I don't blame him for wanting to charge money for a typing service, for example. But the point is, it's not something. It's not an ongoing service, right? Like you figure out what type they are, you tell them what type they are. We're gonna type them, retype them again, something different later on. I don't think you got it today, but it's being mailed from Southern California, so it shouldn't take that long to get there.
I got INFJ. Oh my god, it's.
His online test got me right too, but it was a different test than one I took. I don't know what that test was. He probably wants to type people those kind of types as well because they're more likely to buy like a bonus pack information or something.
Yeah, because having it like with only 2 answers is really. The accuracy could be 50-50.
How many answers did you get?
I mean, there was like, I don't know,
I think there was 7, right?
Yeah, 7 questions or something, and there's only 2 answers. It's not like.
Right. I actually there was an aspect like that in the test that I took where you it prohibited you from picking certain combinations of things, and I actually liked that quality of it. I thought that's a smart thing to do, but you know. But I still don't think his online test is good for typing people, even though it typed both of us correctly.
Yeah, it's funny.
I don't really want to watch you eat, though. But I guess I have to. I get sleep paralysis. I've talked about it a lot. Well, that's better than wakeful paralysis. Yes, you're a good boy. With very silly ways. The rumors are the Tigers are going to trade Scooble to the Mets or the Dodgers. Let me get my glasses. Have I ever gotten sleep paralysis? Not really, kind of a little bit. When I was a kid, I had this thing where I'd try to be waking up, but I couldn't make myself wake up. Yeah, I probably had paralysis by analysis plenty of times. Like I said, it's usually different settings. Sometimes it feels like I'm face down in a puddle and I can't move. Other times I'm just in my room. Sometimes I'm in a hospital room. I don't get a witch on my chest. I get a nurse. Nurses are really just roomless witches anyway. You know. There, Trouble, are you happy? I've been here watching you eat for so long. Are you done? Maybe he is done. I think if we were to teach cognitive functions properly in school, then people wouldn't be so belligerently vague about it, you know? God damn it. When I'm saying these words, I'm not going to say anything, and you better not ever try to make me say anything. I'm just using smoke and mirrors and metaphors. How dare you? How dare you mean things? That doesn't mean that. What do you mean, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything.
I really like how you say that we're the aliens, and that's why life here is so like fucking weird.
Yeah, I do believe in aliens, Popovich. I believe that we are the aliens. I also believe in illegal aliens.
So do I.
I believe that people from Mexico come to this country without proper authorization sometimes. Ah, sleep paralysis. I thought you were talking about belief in aliens being genetic. Sleep paralysis though makes a little more sense. What is this, volleyball? Stephen F. versus Montana State. The FCS Division One Championship. So this used to be 1AA a long time ago. But now they call it FCS Division One. Even though, of course, the FBS now has a playoff championship series. So thanks a lot, unnecessarily confusing football.
That skit about
The weights and measures.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That was so funny.
Yeah. There's a good Saturday Night Live skit called George Washington's Dream. I think that's what it's called. He's back at like the crossing the Delaware days, and he's explaining his dream for the country that we use a mishmash of weights and measures that don't make any sense.
And he like goes into explaining like yards.
And we'll use meters for sports we don't like. But for important sports like football, we'll use yards. Eric, what do you think about the existence of aliens? Do they really exist? Well, I do believe that there's life on some other planet someplace, but I don't believe that there are aliens flying around in spaceships. I don't doubt that there's some kind of very primitive life on any planet that has any kind of sufficiently mild conditions that it could support it. There's a decent chance that there's some kind of primitive life there. But the idea that we've been visited by aliens in spaceships, that I don't agree with, because it doesn't make any sense on a number of levels. Like, the most obvious one is that given the duration of the universe and what we know about the duration of civilizations based on our own civilizations, whether we can extrapolate from that is another question, but and the changes in solar systems and stuff over time, etc., then it's very unlikely that there'd be any other species of creature that was advanced enough to have spaceships at all anywhere within 1,000,000 light years of us or something. And even if there were, they still wouldn't be able to get out of their own solar system effectively. And there's zero evidence for the existence of aliens as well. I mean, there's a little bit of evidence that there's some kind of life potentially on Venus in this one strip of the atmosphere that's kind of in the Goldilocks zone, actually.
That's where Aphrodite lives.
Aphrodite lives on Venus?
Mm-hmm. It's named after her.
Well, it's a terrible, hot planet that would be very uncomfortable to live on.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how violent pandas are, but like, they're so cute when they're babies. Like,
It's not pandas who are violent.
No.
Okay? It's
koalas.
koalas.
And they aren't bears.
Yeah, koalas are not bears. Koalas are actually giant cockroaches. So what do you guys think? Should I smoke a cigarette? Maybe I shouldn't, but like, how virtuous do I have to be, really? You know?
I mean, maybe just cut down on how often.
Right. I'm not talking about smoking a shit ton of cigarettes. I'm saying, am I going to smoke a cigarette tonight? Probably yes. As to when, I'm not sure. Jag Paula's got
Yeah, that's really what she's saying. Like, I would never be able to deal with that. That would be so overwhelming for me.
They seem nice, pandas.
Don't they?
Yeah. I mean, that is a possible thing that you could do. But I'm not inviting you to do anything specific. I just asked a question.
So the judge in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni case said, I don't care if you're friends or celebrities, they're not above the law. Like, they're gonna get what they get.
Good. I'm glad.
Me too. Like, Hugh Jackman, Taylor Swift, fucking Taylor Swift lying.
Did she lie under oath?
No, not under oath. Oh, she's gonna have to tell the truth under oath.
Yes.
But she did lie.
Okay, well, the court's not going to consider that a crime.
No, she's going to have to. That's what the judge said. Like, they're going to have to testify, and they're going to have to tell the truth because, what came out was that Taylor Swift said she only met Justin Baldoni once through passing, and it's come out through depositions that actually know Justin Baldoni met with her more than once, and it wasn't just in passing. And she was way more involved than she admits. So,
Who was way more involved? Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift, yeah.
Well, I'm curious as to what happens, what they say in the case, you know.
Yeah, the case is in May because the Judge Lyman was like, I have criminal cases to deal with. Like, they take precedence over your bickering war.
You spoiled children.
Yeah.
But they said things I didn't like.
Yeah. He didn't, I mean, they could have had, like, an affair, I don't know, but it's very much like...
Taylor Swift and Justin Baldoni?
Oh, no. But Taylor Swift, like, she chose, there's a young Blake Lively in the movie, and Taylor Swift was involved with that.
A young Blake Lively in the movie? What do you mean?
So, like, there's a young Lily in the book.
Oh, I see. The kid who plays her younger self.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You know, Yolo is a county here in California.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just above Sacramento County. We've got Inyo County, Kern County, Yolo County. There's also Inyo Kern, which is neither Inyo nor Kern. Well, I expect that find this cigarette pretty satisfying, probably. Because, you know, last cigarette I had was Sunday. It's now Friday. doesn't seem like something you want, well, I mean, certainly I wouldn't recommend taking up smoking to somebody who doesn't smoke. Like, there's no reason to start. Take a couple hits off this, I guess. Like, it's inconceivable that I could just smoke this cigarette and then all of a sudden my whole jaw gets infected. It can't possibly work like that. Let's see. What would you do if you found out after the fact that smoking would definitely hurt your recovery? I mean, that's not the kind of thing you can find out, right? You might be able to establish that statistically implants are more likely to fail in smokers. You might be able to establish how much more likely that is in smokers in general. But even if you had a bad recovery, it would be impossible to ascertain if that was actually due to smoking per se. Because there's not a direct causal relationship, so you could only conclude it more or less likely that it played a role. There is a nicotine anonymous thing too. Well, okay. I don't know how you 12-step cigarettes because isn't it supposed to involve your life becoming unmanageable? That's not going to happen with cigarettes. It's like a fearless and searching moral inventory kind of makes sense after somebody's come to the end of a drinking career that's gone on for years or longer, and people create wreckage behind them when they've got an unsustainable addiction problem that links to behavior stuff. But cigarettes don't qualify as such. It doesn't make any sense to have a 12-step program for them. All right. You guys ready? You guys ready for the excitement? How is how possible for someone like you to get cancer in the future? What do you think? I mean, I could get cancer in the future. It's possible, but the the surprising thing about the linkage between lung cancer anyway and smoking is that unless you have the genetic predisposition to lung cancer, you're not going to get it regardless. So, public health advocates and such have been annoyed for quite a long time because so few smokers get cancer. And, they're trying to present it as if you're a smoker, you're going to get cancer, but the linkage is very weak. Now, there is a much more legitimate linkage between smoking and COPD slash emphysema. But even that, working with industrial solvents and stuff like that, is a higher linkage to COPD than anything else. Regardless, obviously smoking's not healthy. It's not something that I want to just persist in a mindless way, right? I'd like to, in general, I'd like to smoke less. I think I'm well served by smoking less. But it's also the case that I find the recovery from this already annoying. It's like I can't, I can't just naturally eat. I got to be attentive to things like not blowing my nose very hard, and um, I have to be careful with the stitches and stuff, and this bulky denture can kind of like rub on my tongue a bit in ways that are a little uncomfortable. Adding on to that, not smoking cigarettes has been like, but I'm glad I've lasted as long as I have. And I think that I could smoke a cigarette without causing any significant problems. Industrial solvents. Yeah, I'm not smoking any industrial solvents right now, so I should be fine. Mostly, I don't want to smoke too much because I don't like feeling winded. And if when I'm smoking a lot, I tend to feel winded. All right, let's go ahead and light this. Not too much suction. This is going to be pretty exciting. Hmm. Just kind of odd. It's kind of like stale almost. Do you believe in a hell and paradise? I don't know what happens after death. I don't have any set of beliefs because I can't defend any claims about things that happen after death, regardless. I define death as that for beyond which you cannot ever engage with the world again, right? So for people who have had near-death experiences and who sometimes say like, "Oh, I died on the operating table," well, they did not die, in my opinion. Reincarnation's a possibility too. so is blank nothingness, so is simulation. There's a lot of possibilities. Maybe we just get started over again, start the same life over again, and try to do it better this time. But actually, the entirety of human history is only as long as my lifetime. Just keep cycling over and over again. That's possible. I think the Yaldabaoth eats your soul and squirts you back into the soul prison of existence. What does this Yaldabaoth look like? Does he look like what he sounds like? It's Friday, so the neighbors across the street are having some kind of a get together. They like to party. It's a serpent with a man's face and is God. God is a serpent with a man's face. I'm pretty sure he's an old guy with a big gray beard. And a wild Jew fro. It'd be weird if God turned out to be like Woody Allen. Or like, I'm being very neurotic about things. I thought I told you not to sin. What are you doing? Woody Allen? Don't judge me. Yes, I got with my stepdaughter. What in the world? Like, who does that? Come on, Mia Farrow. Let's adopt a Korean girl. Oh, wait till she's 17 and then bam! Woody Allen, Schmuddy Allen. That's what I have to say about Woody Allen. I guess he's still with that lady? That's the idea Gnostics have, anyway. Well, the Gnostics thought. They thought that people are saved or whatever, redeemed in some fashion, by gaining access to secret hidden knowledge. But if you think about it, that's a terrible way to promote your religion, because you gotta always be telling people, no, you can't know this because it's secret. Fun idea, bad cult, I think I might start the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I want to come up with some more recent saints than the Mormon saints. Saint Bert. He's the patron saint of socket wrenches. So anyway, after Jesus went to Utah to give the Book of Mormon and stuff, then later on, just a couple of days ago, he came here to Mariposa and he left some magic books for me to write as well. And it's all about what happened next. Because people used to think like, oh, well, all that Jesus stuff ended in the New Testament. Then they learned, hold on a second, it goes on in the Quran. And then after that, they learned it goes on even further in the Book of Mormon. Well, are you ready for the next episode? Welcome to Eric's Church of Latter-day Saints. Eric, how do you get in your relationship with your first wife? Did I flirt with her? I met her at a party that I was having at the house I lived at with me and Corey lived there. And I don't know. I was super like push shy and scared of girls and stuff, and she was not scared. So I guess that's about it. And, I did want to have a child, and it was getting up into my late 20s, so I was like, might as well marry this stupid bitch. Is that a good approach to picking your life partner? Probably not. But it was my approach, my special approach. I actually believe in Japanese mythology. I think, though, not just Japan, but also America lives on the back of a giant fish. And that's what causes earthquakes. I also believe that with the right hand symbols, I can cast magical spells. I'm convinced that I should be able to, anyway. I still haven't actually pulled it off yet, but I've got chi, I've got chakras, I've got mana. Why can't I cast spells? Are you saying, how did I cast a spell on my first wife? Desperate? I don't know. You'll do. You're female. I've got FI4. I don't think it matters that I don't like this person. How freaking crazy is that? I have a little bit of scissor. It worked out okay, in the sense that I did get a child out of her. A wonderful child indeed. And even though she cheated on me, she got out of the way. I was able to have me and my child and raise her for a good number of years. Melinda. Popovich is asking about my first wife in the stream. Yeah. But the point is, it worked out fine anyway, because I did get a child out of her, and then she went away. So I was fine. It would have been much worse if she wanted to be a super active parent the whole time. It wasn't until later on that she wanted to be an active parent because she got with this guy who wanted her to be an active parent. But At least I was able to not have to fight for custody, you know.
Um, I don't like her. Although she benefits me.
I don't like her either.
Like, what if she? Imagine you had a co-parent. I mean,
Right, that's why I
she
was.
tells her fucking daughter that her daughter she get bangs because like her she has a big forehead. Like, are you fucking crazy, bitch? Like, she's a person who I envision punching.
She's a drunk, so probably a lot of these things she says when she's drunk. I
That
would
doesn't
guess.
excuse
No,
it,
it doesn't
though.
excuse it, but I'm just saying. That's probably part of the reason why she's such a mess. I'm glad I quit drinking. That's a torturous problem to have. Being drunk all the time, being hungover all the time. Ugh. What a nightmare.
I feel lucky that we're together when you're sober. You know, while you've been sober. It would have been rough to be.
Oh yeah, that's not a healthy Eric. Have you really been shy among women in the past? Yeah, for sure. I was not, by any stretch of the imagination, a puss slayer. I had an uh, an a very low opinion of my reproductive viability, lower than was objectively supported by anything really. Except, I'm well, like being good with chicks has a lot to do with SE. If you're trying to get get the romance going.
So you get the romance going.
Right. Well, here, lamb. That's what I mean by I say push shy rather than shy. I wasn't shy around women. I was always perfectly capable of talking with them and having conversations. I just didn't. I was just scared to try to hit on them or something. In part, it was like I want. I don't want to. I don't want women to go away. I like having them around, and I don't want them to think I'm creepy or something. But
Good.
right, but it, I'm talking about back in the day, like in my early 20s, where I just thought that because no woman could ever conceivably want to get with me, it would necessarily always be creepy for me to try to hit on any of them, which was incorrect.
I mean, you didn't have to hit on them. Like I've expressed when I had like feelings.
They will hit on them for lack of a better term. Like try to try to try to make it something other than friendship.
Well, that's like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is an ENTP thing. Talk a lot comfortably, but weird when it comes to intimacy.
Well, if you're an ISFP, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But I also like, um, I don't know. I express when I have interest in someone, like I did with you. Like,
Well, you're. By the time you and I got together, I was sort of a functioning adult. Like I'd had a couple of marriages already failed and stuff, and so I was, and but even after that, it was like, I was still just really starting to think like, okay, I guess I am reproductively viable. I didn't feel so like you and I went smoothly. We both knew what we wanted, and
mm-hmm.
and that was great. But that's because I was in my 40s at that point, right?
Well, yeah.
Late 40s, and so
And I was trusting that you wanted a relationship. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said anything too. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, you know me.
but I really didn't. I mean, I did from the channel, but um, you know, it could have been long distance for a while, or long
Yeah,
distance
well,
and
we
not
didn't.
work.
It is the case that neither of us expected you to stay in LA indefinitely.
Mm-mm, no.
Meow.
I got rejected a lot, but I always like it. Always was like if I had feelings for a person, I couldn't like not tell them because I was always reading into things. So I would have to be like, even if it was like through messaging, like an AOL Instant Messenger, like I would have to like let the person know, like, hey, I have a crush on you, like something like that or whatever, because I just couldn't like I didn't wanna. I could be like fake.
It's a loud truck.
Humbly one. Oh my god.
What?
Loud bass.
Yeah, it sounded like the truck was going someplace. Hopefully. I used to have a lot of feminine company.
I mean, girls are gonna be friends with guys for as long as the guy stays um quiet if they have interest in the person or not. They're not gonna. They're just gonna assume. I don't know. Most assume, oh, we're just friends.
Yeah, well, I think when people are young, there are more. The friendships between men and women are more common because people socialize a lot more, for one thing, right? So there's a lot more like, group activities in your 20s than in your 30s or in your 40s. I mean, I also think it's SE. I think that the the making of romance is an extroverted sensing thing mostly. Sure, one can do it more or less smoothly based on FE, but it's like an example of how weak SE links is there are plenty of times that I want to have sex with Rachel, but I just am like, well, maybe a little bit later. you know, I do want to, but I'm also kind of lazy. And it's like I'll think about it a lot before I actually make it happen.
I do the same thing with SE though.
What SE polars and SE eights could do. I mean, even if you have SE polar or 8, you're not completely incapable of making shit happen. It's not going to be in your comfort zone, especially if you're FI polar like me. No, it's like knowing that you like somebody a lot and that you want to be intimate with them and then making that happen. That's all FISE stuff. But just because you don't have a front stack doesn't mean you're destined to die a virgin. I guess an ESTP has the FE to know who is viable and the SE to make the play. True. But they still might not have good clarity about who they really like or who's a good person for them. Like Delilah had some terrible boyfriends, but this current one seems fine.
If he is an INTP, I think she's his.
Supervisor.
Yeah, which would make sense.
Yeah, some people can talk girls into stuff. Like I I have successfully used my language skills to woo before, but I just I don't I've never been able to play it cool, right? Like all the F stuff makes the whole thing high stakes, dangerous. I want to get the statuses resolved as quickly as possible so that I don't have to make determinations with my subjectivities. Right. You have to be good at getting with people, but bad at finding a good person to be with. Part of the FI polar thing is a real antipathy towards hurting somebody else's feelings too.
Can you be honest?
Yes.
That's what I tell people, like on the stream sometimes. Like when you've gone to bed, like a topic will come up, and I'll be like, honestly, you guys, like, you don't know, but like, bipolar can hurt, and it's not on purpose. Um, but um, it could be misinterpreted wrong or something. It could just be a joke. But I don't know. Sometimes it stings.
What I say?
Yeah, or like it won't be funny to me, but it'll be funny to you, or like it'll be something that I'll bring up and it just makes you mad.
What it makes me mad that you brought it up. You mean?
Like the topic of emotions, or just like I don't know, like it'll just be like an insensitive thing that isn't meant to be insensitive, and then it is. I don't know.
But I say something insensitive is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I
It's
do
not,
sometimes
it's not
for
on
sure.
purpose, though.
But when I do hurt somebody's feelings, then that causes me a lot of distress.
Right, because you don't really mean it. Just like me with TE and feeling useless.
why this is giving me so much difficulty coming off of here. There.
Do you want a bigger poker?
Well, I just gotta scrape it out of here. And my glasses.
I don't think I know many ESTPs. If I know any, like from my past, I think like Eric said that my first boyfriend was probably an ESTP. And then honestly, like after that, I don't think I dated any ESTPs or even like was friends with them. I was friends with a lot of ESFJs. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Like the first Peter, my first boyfriend, like he was probably ESTP, and Eric helped me narrow that down because I like described to him how he was with people. Like he also had bad taste in comedies. But really, like after that, honestly, I don't think I dated any ESTPs or even were friends with ESTPs. I think I was friends with an ISFJ, ESTJ, ESTJ, ESFJ, ESFP, ISFJ. There have been people that I've been friends with who said that they're INFP, but only one of them I think really was.
I think that experiencing Jared's sister in conjunction with Kay was very pleasantly informative about how starkly different ENFPs and ESFPs are.
Yes.
Like it was so obvious when you had them side by side that Kay was ENFP and what's her name was ESFP.
Yes.
What was her name?
Tamara. She had the perfect job for an ESFP female too. Not that males that couldn't do that, but like, it's interesting because like, their friend JoJo is also an ESFP, but they are similar. Like you can see similarities between the two of them. Like the logic just isn't there.
But there's also the physicality of that woman. She was touching me and Rachel all the time.
Yeah, she touched Eric more than me, actually. To be honest, I saw only once.
Was I just say I was sitting next to her and you weren't? I think.
Yeah, it's true, but I was talking to her more than you were. Like I was in the kitchen, and she grabbed onto my arm. I remember that, and like I hugged her goodbye. But those were the two interactions that I can remember. But I saw Eric get her touch Eric's knee once, and I like kind of gave like I gave a look like
5 times.
If I had known, I would have probably been like.
I like try to move my leg to the side.
I didn't even see that.
Waited, but she was just touchy like that.
Touching too early is just we'll see like, but like Kay was too touchy with me. Like the second time that we hung out, just her and I, like she wanted to dance cheek to cheek, and like that's just too much for me.
I think it's just some FI stuff. Maybe.
It is FI. I kept on saying that FI is too not in my head and to you. Like I kept on saying like the FI is just too much. I don't mind dancing, but I don't want to dance cheek to cheek. Like, Because then I have to say, like, no.
She wants you to bond over strong feelings.
That's sometimes fine. I was thinking about, because someone asked me what TI polar looks like, and I should have gave the example, but I was thinking of the example of Eric testing K's TI being like, who is my dad's wife? And she said cousin. She wasn't rizzing me up. She was just putting on like emotional music and like in the moment, you know?
Yeah, I don't think either of them were trying to be manipulative. I think they were both just being FI and saying, here's how I connect with you is by attaining closeness and emotional resonance, and for the ESFP even more than for K, that also involves physical contact. She's a preschool teacher, so she's
She
touching
can touch,
the children all
yeah.
the time, you know.
Whereas like when I was for a day like worked at a children's daycare for like 3, 4 year olds, or maybe even younger. Some of them didn't know how to like potty train. I was like weird about touching them, you know? Like how much do I like get involved with this? So it didn't work. Like I was good with babysitting kids, but most of the kids that I babysat were like, I don't know, 5 to like 10, 11. So they could function on their own. When they were younger than that, it was like when they were like not potty trained age or like close to it but needed help, like that's where I like didn't know how to do it. Whatever if I'm a grandma, I'd rather be me than like someone else. I'm so what if I'm a grandma?
Who says you're a grandma? You bet which person asked you for a big favor? I mean, Jared's sister? No, she's not asking us for any favors. She was just here temporarily. We just had Thanksgiving with her. And Jared and Kay.
I have to like remember that ESFPs say a lot of things, but they don't actually like mean them. Like she was like, "Oh, expect food on your doorstep," and I was like, "Yay, leftovers!" I was like, "Yeah, definitely do that." Like we would have accepted leftovers, but there wasn't any there.
Or if she had brought some over, I would have given her some wheat too.
I don't know who Harry Mural is.
Cognitive personality theory.
Oh, that's who my friend was just typed by. I don't know. It's a good question though. I'll look into his stuff. I probably will not like it. Is he fairly new?
No, he's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Hand gesture, pause, and stare into the camera guy. Like this.
That's intimidating. It's like, continue? Do you really mean that?
That's hand gesture, pause, and stare into the camera.
No, that's very good.
Thanks. That's why I'm joining the Winter Olympics.
Where do you guys think Milan is in Italy? Where is it in Italy?
Is it right next to North Africa? Is it on the island of Sicily? Sicily's an island,
Hmm.
right? Or someplace else. Oh, his soothing affect. Hey, I'm gesturing. Now I'm pausing and staring into the camera. Like that. What Winter Olympic sport do you think I'm most interested in competing in? It's a good question. It's an excellent question, an important question. I'm gonna choose just slalom skiing, just regular skiing. No, I can't ice skate for shit, but I can ski. I've been skiing since I was a little kid, so I can ski just fine. I don't know if I'm gonna win the Winter Olympics, but I could make it down the hill without crashing. The other possible thing would be the one where you go on the cross country skis and then you stop periodically to shoot a gun.
Are there any new?
New Winter
Yeah,
Olympics.
you know how like breakdancing was new
Yeah,
for the
I
Summer
hope they have
Olympics.
winter breakdancing. I don't know how that would be different, but breakdancing on ice. They should have battle figure skating where you're not really doing figures, but they equip each of the figure skaters with a baton kind of a thing, like a big bat with like rubber ends on it. Put on a helmet and they try to knock each other over. That seems like a good sport, right? How about sumo wrestling on ice skates? I like it. How about snowshoeing up a hill? Why don't they have that? That could be a Winter Olympic sport. They should make more winter sports so they'll have something to compete in for the Winter Olympics. I agree, Fly Guy. There are not enough medals handed out in the Winter Olympics. Like, they could have a winter equivalent of bodybuilding kind of event where you pick up and stack on top of each other big blocks of ice. Why don't you have winter swimming? Because water freezes. Yeah, but how about ice fishing? Why don't they have ice fishing as a winter Olympic sport? They want to kill all those fish. They're not going to catch anything anyway. The lake's all frozen and there's no fish in it. So it's just an artistic event. Like who fishes more artistically well. Um, they could have an event called uh, glacial calving surf. Glacial calving surf safari is an event where the surfers go up near those glaciers, like in Alaska, that are always pieces of them are falling off into the ocean, making big waves, and they have to ride those waves. It's part of the new global warming, taking advantage of global warming strategy that the Winter Olympics should be implementing. They could do competitive snow angels. You can only use your arms and legs and your head. Winter cycling, winter sprinting, winter marathon, winter tennis. No, none of those sports are allowed to be played in the winter. I'm sorry, plug that. You can have how about weatherproofing your house? Was that a was that a fumble? How what happened there? I could have sworn that was an incomplete pass. How did they get the ball? That makes no sense. Let me see this. Oh, I guess it is a fumble. I thought it was a forward pass. In favor of different body types. It's the Winter Olympics is at an inherent disadvantage because the Summer Olympics doesn't have to have everything that they do be about things that are hot. But the Winter Olympics, like everything they do has to be about things that are cold. I've got to go pee.
So honestly, though, is there any new sport in the Winter Olympics? If not, then I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
Ask ChatGPT. I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe.
I don't know Winter Olympics as well as I do the summer. And I think that's pretty typical. I think the Winter Olympics came after.
But do you agree with my point that they're at a disadvantage because Summer Olympics don't have to be about things that are hot, but Winter Olympics seem to have to be about things that are cold?
Uh, yes. Yes. Are there any new Are there any new events in the Winter Olympics 2026?
Yes, there are a few new events. We'll see team combined in alpine skiing, equal distances for men and women in cross country skiing, mixed team relay in skeleton, and men's super team in ski jumping. Is there any particular event you're interested in?
No, thank you. What the? I don't even know what that means. It just seems like added on things to.
Can you ask it if there are any Winter Olympic events that don't involve frozen water?
Are there any Winter Olympics sports that don't involve frozen water?
That's a good question. While most winter sports do involve snow or ice, some don't directly involve frozen water, although they take place in winter conditions. For example, some variations of ski jumping or bobsled don't directly interact with snow or ice on the surface of the track. Were you thinking of a specific sport?
But that can't be. I mean, then the answer is no, because everything does involve ice or snow. Some sort of frozen water, yes. Like she was saying, bobsledding doesn't, but it involves a bobsled that's on ice.
Right. What you were saying is that some of the new surfaces are like a ski jump. You land on snow, but it's not actually on the ski jump, I guess.
But you're skiing on
No,
on
I
snow.
agree with you. I agree with you completely, Rachel. You are absolutely correct that still counts.
So I think that all Winter Olympics does involve some sort of frozen ice. You know what I'm looking forward to? And like not even to be ironic, what's the shuffleboard version of what is that? Curling. I like curling. Curling is fun. It's way more fun than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
Well, Cool Runnings, yes, but they also lose because they have no experience with frozen water. I've seen Cool Runnings. I used to like it as a kid, and they didn't win. They got into the Olympics. That's the big thing, but they came in really like they didn't do well in the Olympics. Jamaica did make it, but you do have to have like experience with frozen ice. No, I didn't do curling. I mean, I remember it being a really fun movie. I liked it. I was a kid. I remember going with like my friends as a kid. I think curling is so funny. It's like intense, but like it's intense. It does you wouldn't think that it would be intense, but it so is, and like everyone has a position, and like certain like brush scratches will like make the curling device like go a certain way. I don't know. Whatever, G. You can think that Cool Runnings is a good movie, and I can think that curling is fun. So like, get over it. No, I don't agree with that. Definitely not a poo fight. Not a pee fight. Let's just keep like any sort of like bodily function at home. But I'm sure Ruben and Acacia would be into it. No poo. No poo. What about ice boxing?
That would be a possible new event.
Yeah.
It can't be like regular boxing with a lot of falling down.
Yeah.
What about icicle javelin throw?
Whoa. That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even into food fights. There's so much cleaning up after.
How about avalanche survival? People take turns getting covered by an avalanche
Mhm.
and see who survives best.
I think there would be too much winter sports with some numbers of summer sports because you can't winter sports make into summers. I mean, I can't imagine a skiing into summer Olympics. What would be?
Right, but the point is, Popovich, that like Summer Olympics, they have plenty of sports that don't involve any form of water at all. Right?
It doesn't involve heat either. Like,
For example,
gymnastics.
volleyball. It involves no form of water, frozen or unfrozen. So you've got all the sports in the Winter Olympics have to be on water of some kind, either snow or ice. So the Winter Olympics are at an unfair disadvantage. I mean, you could do like North Atlantic Sea boating event or
Yeah.
something.
Oh my God.
Like a yacht race
Yeah.
through.
I mean, they have surfing.
Or they're surfing in the summer. If you had the ocean event be sufficiently far north that it was sufficiently cold, presumably it would qualify even though it's not frozen.
What about ice fishing?
Well, ice fishing, I think in general nowadays, they try not to have events
Oh.
with animals in them.
Oh.
They do still have equestrian events, but they used to have events like hunting and things like that.
Oh.
And nowadays they're like,
That's
let's
fair.
be nice to the animals.
That's fair.
Antarctic submarine racing would be a very boring event to watch.
Well, G thinks that curling is boring.
Well, the reason submarine racing would be boring is because you're standing on top. You can't see anything.
You really can't.
Yeah. It's kind of a similar reason as to why speedboat racing is boring. When they used to have those super high performance boats that go super fast and they race them, like off a Florida coast or whatever, in just a little bit of time they'd be so far away from you nobody could see them.
Oh.
So they had to film it with like a helicopter flying along, and eventually, too many people died in those kind of boats, and so it kind of died out of the sport because people were just dying left and right.
Because they wanted to go max speed, and you
Yeah.
can't control the ocean.
Right. Well, that's the thing is they're going super super fast in this boat, right? But if you hit the wrong bit of choppy wave at the wrong moment, just fly out into the sky.
That's why I like, I've, what's the word I'm looking for? I related to Lindsay Lohan in Falling for Christmas when she's on the ski mobile with her boyfriend, and like he's going way fast and she's on the back and like, oh, like that's how I was on jet skis. Like it was just like my friend Jessica was going at 75 like miles per hour and I was like ripping for my life.
It's unfortunate. Those things can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't crash.
Me too. Everyone was making fun of me. They were like, "Oh, you're white." I'm like, What happened was like, there was a place in like near Austin where you can like go boating and stuff and jet skiing. And they were like, you can like do it yourself. And I was like, I don't know how to operate these things. Like I wasn't okay with it. So like Jess was like, just hop on with me. And like I was just bananas. And then we stopped off at a place that was like on the coastline for like food, and it would have been fucking cool except for the fact that like I couldn't eat because I was so nauseous from the ride. I was like, no. And I have been worried about it the whole time. Like my friends were like, yeah, we'll go jet skiing the next day after you visit. And I'm like, jet skiing? Like you don't know me. I'm not like that kind of person. And all they did want to do was keep me entertained, but
Well, you know, here's something I think they could do potentially. They could structure some kind of competitive snowball fight team sport.
that would be fun.
Like we have a course that's constructed out of snowbanks and stuff, and
Yeah.
have a set finite number of snowballs piled. You can't make your own. You have to use those, and there's a time limit. Maybe one team is the attacking team and one team is the getaway team, and you know, the attacking team has to try to throw snowballs successfully at all of the other team and get them all out with as few snowballs as possible or something. That seems kind of like your poo fight, except with snow instead of poo, which is kind of a big difference.
And they have to use like soft snow, not like icy snow, because so it won't hurt, and your padded and stuff. But I think that would be great. And maybe like the balls can have like colors to the teams, so you see on the body where it's hit the person, kind of like paintball, I guess.
Yeah, it would be. You have to do something like that, like to make it like paintball, but you wouldn't have to worry about the snowballs being too icy or whatever because they'd be the two teams would come into the field of play, and the snowballs would already be there, being made by like the just like for example, they're gonna rake the sand of the volleyball court. make it all smooth before they play volleyball there. Well, they're gonna make the snowballs just right. Everybody has exactly the same snowball, so there's no snowball advantage, right? I think this could be the next hot sport.
Why not? They have breakdancing for summer, snowball fights for winter. I don't see it being out of the question.
Yeah.
Someone captured like the first snowball fight first, but that I don't know if it was. I don't know.
Maybe you could do team rhythmic snowball gymnastics. Like they juggle back and forth snowballs to each other and stuff.
Possibly.
Could do that. Winter creative writing. How about building a fire? Like
That's good.
each competitor is given one log, just the same, right? And nothing else. They just have their hands on the log, and they got to somehow using their whatever break off pieces of it, rub it together, and make a fire. You can make any horrible, torturous sport an Olympic sport because someone will compete in it. Well, sure, they want to go to the Olympics, you know. Wasp eating? Oh. Well, I guess I'm pretty good at eating wasps. They're gonna really hurt my tongue. But I want an Olympic medal. Axe throwing could be a winter sport, you think?
I think they already have it in summer though, don't they?
Axe throwing? That's news to me if they do. But maybe they do.
Let me see. Is axe throwing an Olympic sport?
No, axe throwing is not an Olympic sport. It's more of a popular leisure activity and competitive sport in its own right, with
So we can add it. I was wrong, my bad.
They do have the hammer throw as part of the track and field events.
Maybe that's less dangerous?
I mean, there's nobody standing where they throw it.
I mean, I would have thought they would have axe throwing because they have, like, you know, competitive shooting.
Well, you make a good point. But I guess they don't have axe throwing. I don't think they've got racquetball either.
Ooh, tree climbing and sawing, or like axe cutting, like cutting logs should be a winter sport. You know, like people who thrive in the winter know all about chopping wood.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't that be in the Summer Olympics? Would the heat be? Because like some Summer Olympics are inside, so it really doesn't mean that they need to be hot. Huh. I feel like it has to be like winter specific.
Right. Well, I mean, this is the problem with the winter sports is that basically
Yeah,
it
it
has to
does.
involve
Yeah.
either ice or snow.
Yeah.
Or at least very cold water, as per my idea of a boat race in the North Atlantic.
Yeah, because I mean, gymnastics is inside. Track and field is sometimes even inside. Oh, you know what race I like? When they go around and it's a team and they like tap each other to go like race. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a relay race, like, you know,
Are they running with their legs or their skates?
Their skates and their
Yeah,
I
know what you're talking about. Yeah, that one. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I like that.
That's cool. It's very like smooth looking.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like you're like, oh my gosh. Because sometimes, like, someone from behind, their second partner could be really fast, and they surpass, and yeah.
No, Rachel's not talking about cycling. She's talking about
No.
speed skating.
Yeah, like the ones that go like this. They're like skating, and they're like this. But they're really down like this. And they like tag each other. There's like multiple people involved with it. And either it's like some team is just like stealing the show and like way ahead of everyone, or it gets really close. Thanks, Fly Guy. It took a bit. I had to get out of my head and focus on the moves. But yeah, that's what I like, that sport in Winter Olympics. Do they have snowshoeing? Or like, oh yeah, they can't have anything with animals, so. Is snowshoeing a Winter Olympic sport? I do like watching snowboarding too, I can't lie. It's pretty impressive. When they get up really high in the sky. But I also like skateboarding in summer. I tried skateboarding. I like landed right on my ass. You know how Delilah is in ESTP because she picked up roller skating like incredibly fast. Like, I used to roller skate when I was younger, so I roller skated with her, but you could tell like I had been rusty, and she was like really good. She was really good at it. And that's actually what made Eric understand that, or learn that his ex was an ISFP, not an INFP, because she was a good roller skater.
I mean, certainly it's a. Back then, I didn't have a good understanding of her.
That
type,
was one
obviously.
of the, yeah, one of the, that was like, Melinda roller skated? And then you were like, she's not, you were like, she's an ISFP then.
I mean, that's not a good enough reason to conclude that, but I do think she is that.
I do too. Well, and I think that is one of the reasons. Also, that story that you tell of Delilah, you and her at the Arboretum, and you guys were walking over a little bridge, and Delilah almost fell, and Melinda's the one who like grabbed her.
Yeah, she did fall in, didn't she? What?
You said that Melinda grabbed her.
Yeah, I mean, I think she.
Oh, she actually did fall in.
She fell in, but she didn't go anywhere because Melinda like jumped right in and grabbed her. But I think she did fall and get wet, if I remember correctly.
You probably do.
But the main reason why I should conclude she's an ISFP is she obviously is an extroverted intuition second. Balance is like an intrinsic quality of people. I'll never be able to balance on a skateboard. Well, the thing is, I don't have good balance on like skateboard, blah 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 blah. But I am fine on skis or on a bicycle.
But like, I'm better on rollerblades than I am. Honestly, roller skating is really difficult because there's 4 wheels moving all at the different times, so you have to be very coordinated. And skateboarding, like, it's easy to go fast and not know like when to lift your leg, and like, you know, you have to have the momentum, like you get the momentum and then you flip to the side. So like, You have to keep up with yourself.
Yeah, I was never able to skateboard at all, so I don't even have a good sense of how one goes about doing it.
On a bicycle, I could ride no hands.
And I can ride no hands on a bicycle too.
Bicycle riding was something a friend of mine, my parents were too scared to teach me how to ride a bike because they didn't want to watch me fall. So a friend of mine, what was her name? She taught me how to ride a bike, and then I became obsessed with it. I feel like that's your SE is also fourth, right? Fly guy, so you know, I'm sure bike riding, once you get the hang of it for SE fourth, like I went really fast on my bike too, so much so that my brakes would give out and I had to crash. Though I learned my lesson, I guess. Now I'm wondering, I'm not sure if I was able to ride without hands. I feel like I was. I don't know. I used to like pump it a lot, you know? Like pump the, like stand up on it and like start pedaling. Maybe it's easier when you're smaller. It could be. I haven't tried balancing now. They could also have like SE 1 or 2. My friend Jen, who tried to teach me how to skateboard, she's an ESFP, and she was naturally good at like athletic things because her SE. I like to sit too. I like to sit now. I'm not sure if I was a stander or a sitter. Oh, for cycling. Yeah, I stand and pump and like go really fast and then I sit. In Arcadia, I used to bike it up, standing up the hills. Coming back down, I would sit on the ground. Not on the ground, I'd sit on the seat and go real fast. It's so hard going uphill. It really makes you work. My lungs hated me. That's because I didn't do it much and I smoked. say that SE in the conscious stack would make for fast reflexes? I don't know. What do you say, Eric?
Well, I would say maybe, maybe not. I see SE as having more to do with like executing a given action, right? Rather than necessarily the physicality of reflexes and stuff. It may have to do with that, it may not. It depends on the person, maybe. You know, it's a relationship with executive function more than it is with physicality, in my thinking of it. Because I don't think that just because you're an SE dom means you're an athlete.
No. But I do feel like Jen tested as an ENTP, but it's clear she's not. She's definitely not an ENTP. She used to play softball, and I think that because she wanted to be recognized at home, she played really well. She played all the sports. She always played really well when she played. But that was because she wanted to be seen, like me with my FE. I used it over time because that was the only way that I could get around. Yeah, my friend Jen, back in New York. I also thought I was an ENFP. And yeah. She liked her name spelled Genn. Yes. Yes. I'm testing my reflexes right now.
Are they good?
They're halfway good.
Your reflexes are halfway good. I don't think that you should condemn them such, call them halfway bad. No, I think you're halfway glad.
I am halfway glad. Yes. I got excited. Let me see. Yeah, see that? Hope you saw that.
I got reflexes, watch me reflex. What's the thing you said? I've got to deflex because my muscles are too large. I will deflex when you reflect. If all of the rules. Like, don't go over there. That would be unfair. Don't stay over here. That's not fair either, dear. Don't be near me. Instead, go see Abby. And when you and I travel to sea, we'll be Thank you, thank you. That was a wonderful song. This is a ballad about salad. It's a reason to feel. Do you remember in November when you had that of iceberg lettuce with blue cheese? You were promised a wedge, you see, and then you enjoyed it with all your might, and that's when you declared it salad night. Ever since then you've had salad every day. Ever since then you wanted salad in every way. Ever since when? Well, ever since then, and that's why you call every day a day for Roquefort. S stands for salad that you put in your bowl. A salad, so good and cold. L, let's have salad for sure. A, salad again? Okay. And D, damn, that's a lot of salad. Salad, 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 made of lettuce to salad ballad. You don't regret it for a single minute with you. Thank you. That was, I'd say, my best song about salad ever. Of all the songs about salad I've ever written, that was the best.
Here, throw them and see if I can catch them in my mouth.
Can you throw it?
Yeah.
All right. Good job.
Thank you.
Wow. Try and get it on camera. Try this again. We're going to eat that one first.
Oh, so close.
That was close.
Thank you. Thank you for your assistance.
Excellent job, Rachel.
Thanks. That was self-taught.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed you didn't have a professional trainer.
I never used to do it with friends.
I think I might make myself a milkshake. I'm gonna need to eat a lot of mush if I'm gonna stay full. Alright. Maybe I'll make a milkshake and I'll also make a frozen dinner. Do you want a milkshake too, Rachel?
Yeah, I'd love one.
Okay. I'm gonna make a full thing of milkshakes so we can each have a milkshake. But put one more. Yeah, ice cream in here. No, computer, get down. Okay. Now, got some milk. Put that there for now. And put this back. Okay. Now we're going to need to get a key and special ingredient. Namely, we're going to do a little fruits basket. These look fine. Give them a little rinse-a-roo. Put a few of those in there. Put some of these in here. I should wash these too. Oh. All right. Okay, put those in there. Now, okay, open up this pineapple. It seems like it's really ripe and ready. So I'm going to open it up, put some pineapple in there too. And then, you know, save some pineapple for later as well. I'm no expert at opening pineapples. I'm not going to try to hide that fact from you. Okay. Let's do this. And then we'll cut this part off. That part off. Okay. Here we go. That's a lot of pineapple. I need to cut it up a little smaller, I think. Okay. Now we got a lot of different things going on in here. Alright, let's see. I think this needs more ice cream. Oh my god, it's so good already. Alright, fine. More ice cream it is. Alright. We're gonna need a couple of glasses. Here. I titled this milkshake the Hawaiian Berry Patch. There you go.
Ooh, that's delicious. Thank you. That feels good.
Thanks. This time I think I'll put yogurt in there as well. Oh no! Really? You have to be just a little bit too big? Come on. You can fit in there. I believe in you. I did it. Alright. One pineapple. Ready to eat later.
Delicious.
Cheers.
Mm.
Feels healthy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
We do have saran wrap.
Cheers.
There's got ice cream, fruit, which is say red berries, blackberries, pineapple, ice cream, milk, and half and half. It's not super sweet. Tastes more like a smoothie than ice cream shake. Than a milkshake, really. But that's a perfect thing to do with a blender. That's what a blender is for. I'm going to be eating a lot of dairy for the next while. Some ginger always works. Bit of subtle kick. I wouldn't want ginger in a milkshake. Yeah. You don't want this either, trouble. It's got fruit in it. Oh. This provides some nutrition, but
Now you need protein powder.
yeah, maybe some protein powder
Yeah.
or some malt. Our girls will thicken it up with adding a yogurt to it.
Yeah. That's why we should get a big tub of like vanilla yogurt. I'll make it creamy. Not that this isn't. But you can get protein from that too, I think. Yogurt.
Yeah.
And probiotics, which is always good.
Meow. Yeah, a little crystal ice would make it more like a smoothie, but it already tastes like it has too much water in it just from the fruit, I think. Maybe I put too much milk in, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna make a frozen dinner. What kind of frozen dinner? Good question. Good question indeed. Well, I'm gonna get a Salisbury steak. Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes, that's soft. Go on. Go on, Mr. Kitty. Okay. 4 minutes. 3 minutes. 7.5 minutes. Now let's go put this in the compost pile. Cut this over here. Alright. Now we're going to put this in the compost pile. Oops, watch out, kitty. Or it will return to being dirt. It's like they say, ashes to ashes, bust to bust. Competitive snow touching. Hello, Chicago, and welcome to Mariposa, California. Land of Yosemite.
God.
What's the matter? Dave Lumpkins Jr.
I don't want to get, I won't turn the volume on, but she's dancing to Cry Me a River.
Who?
Britney Spears. To Cry Me a River. Like, get over it. Why would you want to be with him? Or, like, reference him at all.
I don't know. She's Britney. She does things the Britney way. She's not raps in a tent.
It's true.
I'm tired of hearing raps in a tent. Oh, Brittany, you're so empowered. I'm not wrapped in a tent. Alright, we're gonna put that in here now. Okay. Wash this off. You're not looking in the right place. You should be looking over here where the action is. Put that knife back. Turn that off. Wipe this up. Put that there. Push this back. Throw that out. A million Action Jackson. Got about 2 minutes left on my frozen dinner, which I got from the frozen dinner section of the supermarket. Perhaps unsurprisingly. Where did they get it from? Well, obviously they got it from Salisbury. It's a Salisbury steak.
What was it named after the first sandwich?
Sandwich, right. Yes, I, the Earl of Sandwich, invented the sandwich. Why don't you order in? That's not a possibility for us.
You know what that's like? Like Earl Sanders saying that he created the sandwich. It's like JoJo Siwa saying that
To
she's
create K-pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. The Earl of Sandwich was the first JoJo Siwa. Alright, 20 seconds, 10 seconds now. 10 seconds from paradise. Alright. They have trouble delivering things here via drone. A lot of trees and stuff. Rather far away from any place too, you know. Like, what's the range on those things? Probably not that far. Presumably that you need to have an operator, like with a headset that you can see what the drone sees or something. Or is that stuff, have they successfully automated that? Well, maybe they will bring something by drone then, I don't know. Cause I'm a drone operator. Drone operator. Coast to coast, LA to Chicago. It sounds like I'm late arriving at this party of getting things by drone. I remain nevertheless skeptical. You know, they're really fussy about airspace stuff. There are only some places where you're allowed to fly drones at all. Yeah, you only ever sing one song, that's right. Hmm. Take some doing, but I am feeling full. It's hard to fill up when you have such a limited amount of things you can eat. Feels good to eat warm food. This is the flavor of all tomorrow's forevers. I enjoy it with my tongue. Ow. Okay. A little bit more of this. Well, 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 well. It looks like I'm gonna wrap this up here. And I think I will hit up Rachel for clonazepam. Thank you, darling. And then settle on some TV and then head to bed here. So, for the few of you who came here tonight, thank you. I appreciate your company. And I wish you a tip-top tet. Until next time, I have been host Eric, and Rachel, also from afar, wishes you adieu. We love you, and we'll see you soon.